Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Wednesday. We got 12 matchups on this NBA slate today, so go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below, and go ahead and check out ParlayPlay, guys. Get $10 in risk-free entries when you guys sign up, and you can use them on props for these games today. So go ahead and hop in it. Been super fun, and I think you guys will enjoy it as well. So yeah, we'll hop into it here. Busy day today. Starting with the Brooklyn Nets versus the Orlando Magic. Brooklyn opening up as 9-point favorites with the over-under at 209.5. The last 10 head-to-head. Brooklyn 5-5. Orlando 7-3 covering in those 10. I don't see any major injuries to report for this game. Brooklyn, it's crazy, 2-7 covering against Orlando here, 3-8 on the road against Orlando. That's just kind of crazy to me, honestly. Orlando 3-15 in their last 18, 2-15 at home. But they are 8-3 at home against Brooklyn, which is that just kind of blows my mind with kind of how bad this Magic team is here. I'm taking Brooklyn -9 here. I just think they should be able to beat up on this Magic team. So yeah, we're going to roll with Brooklyn -9, and there'll be a nice money line addition as well. Next matchup, we have the Washington Wizards versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Wizards opening up as 3.5-point favorites with the over-under at 211.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Washington 6-4, 6-4 covering in those 10. Washington 5-2 in their last 7, 5-2 covering in their last 7 as well. 2-8 on the road. That's kind of been one of their downfalls here. Cleveland 5-0 covering in their last 5. 4-1 in their last 5 as well. But yeah, it's crazy. Both these teams are playing really good basketball, which is kind of really blows my mind. Cleveland on a 4-game winning streak. Wizards 2-game winning streak here. Cleveland, man, they've just been disrespected all season, and they've done nothing but cover, like almost every time. It's kind of crazy here. Yeah, we're going to take Cleveland plus 3.5 here. The way they've been playing, playing really good basketball here. Yeah, we'll take Cleveland plus the points. Next matchup, we had the Milwaukee Bucks versus the New York Knicks. Knicks opening up as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 215.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Milwaukee 6-4, 6-4 covering in those 10. Milwaukee, they've already played the Knicks just 2 games ago, losing 113-98. Yeah, Bucks have been struggling here. 1-5 in their last 6 against, in their last 6 or 7 games here, not including this Philly game that they're playing as I'm recording. But they have just not looked good. Still no Middleton. We don't know if Lopez will play or not. Hard to trust this Bucks team, man. It really is. Knicks pretty healthy right now. Yeah, gonna roll with the healthier team in the Knicks. They've already beat the Bucks, and the Bucks, they've just been playing very bad basketball here just because of their injuries. We'll take the Knicks -2.5 on a small spread. Next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics versus the Toronto Raptors. Celtics opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 209. The last 10 head-to-head, Toronto 6-4, 4-0 covering on the road there. Toronto, yeah, currently on a 2-game losing streak. Boston, had that bad loss to Dallas where Luka hit that game winner. Boston, they've been not playing very good here. 2-4 in their last 6. Toronto, surprisingly, been playing pretty decent basketball here. 5-0 covering on the road. Boston, just 2-8 covering at home here. 1-4 covering at home against Toronto. Man, normally I would take Boston, but Boston, they just have not looked good here. Toronto, playing decent. We'll take Toronto +2 here. Next matchup, we have the Charlotte Hornets versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis opening up as 4.5-point favorites with the over-under at 228.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Memphis 6-4, 7-3 covering against the spread. Charlotte, they've been on a bad stretch here. Currently on a 5-game losing streak. And Memphis, 3-1 in their last 4, playing pretty good basketball here. Charlotte, 0-5 covering on the road, 1-4 in their last 5 against Memphis here. Memphis 4-1 covering at home. They've been covering and playing pretty good basketball here as of late. Hornets, they've kind of fallen off, and they're in a tough little losing streak here. Gonna roll with Memphis -4.5 against the struggling Hornets team. Next matchup, we have the Chicago Bulls versus the Dallas Mavericks. Bulls opening up as 3.5-point favorites with the over-under at 212.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Chicago. Last 10 head-to-head, Dallas 7-3. And then Chicago 7-3 covering in those 10. Dallas, nice little 3-game win streak, playing really good, 4-1 in their last 5. Chicago, 3-2 in their last 5. Back-to-back losses against Philly. Dallas, 3-9 covering in their last 12. 1-4 covering on the road here. But they are 7-2 in their last 9, so they are playing good basketball here. Chicago, 8-3 in their last 11. Both teams playing good basketball. I like the free points with the Mavs, the way the Mavs have been playing. Gonna roll with the Mavs +3.5. All right, next matchup, we have the San Antonio Spurs versus the Sacramento Kings. Currently, both teams are in a pick'em. It looks like Spurs are 1-point favorites with the over-under at 220.5. Last 10 head-to-head. San Antonio just 3-7 head-to-head there. 6-4 covering in those 10. Sacramento, 2-4 in their last 6. Spurs, they haven't looked that great either. Sacramento 7-3 covering in their last 10 against San Antonio. 5-15 in their last 20 against the Spurs. So they've really had no success against the Spurs here, and 2-14 on the road against the Spurs. Tough stat there. Spurs 14-2 at home against Sacramento. Just a 1-point spread. Spurs, they pretty much dominated the head-to-head battle here, and Sacramento just hasn't been able to get it done on the road, especially against the Spurs. We'll take the Spurs in a 1-point spread here. Next matchup, we have the Miami Heat versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Heat opening up as 4.5-point favorites with the over-under at 214.5. The last 10 head-to-head. The Lakers are 6-4, and then the Miami is 7-3 covering in those 10. Let's see. Lakers. No LeBron James. Trevor Reeves, Horton Tucker, none out. Still dealing with other injuries. We'll see if Anthony Davis does play. But this Lakers team has not looked very good in the last few games. Just 1-2 in their last 3. Had a nice little stretch where they, got 2 wins on Houston and Cleveland. But that's not really saying too much here. Miami coming off that kind of bad Denver loss here. 5-2 covering against the Lakers. Too many injuries for this Lakers team, and playing very spotty basketball here. I like the Heat in this matchup. I'm going to roll with the Heat -4.5. Next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Golden State Warriors. Warriors opening up as 7-point favorites with the over-under at 221.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Golden State 6-4, 6-4 covering in those 10. Minnesota, man, they have been on a bad streak here, on a 5-game losing streak. Golden State, 9-1 in their last 10. Golden State is playing just unbelievable basketball. 9-0 at home against Minnesota. Currently on a 5-game winning streak. Only a 7-point favorite. I mean, this Golden State team is looking elite right now. They're just playing so good. Curry's playing great. Getting great help from his supporting cast. Yeah, give me Golden State -7. They'll be a nice money line addition as well against the struggling Timberwolves team. All right, next matchup we have the Detroit Pistons versus the Houston Rockets. Houston opening up as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under at 217.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Detroit 6-4, 8-2 covering in those 10. Both teams playing really bad basketball here. Detroit 1-13 in their last 14, 0-12 on the road. Surprisingly, they are 6-0 covering the spread on the road against Houston here. Houston on an 8-game losing streak right now, 0-6 covering at home against Detroit. Ugly matchup here. You know, Detroit's last win was against the Magic, like 5 games ago. Hard to trust either team here. Going to be an ugly battle. Probably a low-scoring affair, too. We'll take the Detroit plus 1.5, but really stay away from this matchup. I mean, it's pretty horrible. We'll take Detroit plus the points here. Next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans opening up as 4.5-point favorites with the over-under at 215. The last 10 head-to-head, OKC 6-4, 5-5 covering in those 10. OKC, they are 5-2 in their last 7 against the Pelicans. But they are just 4-15 in their last 19, so they have been playing pretty bad basketball here. They are on a 2-game winning streak, which is actually surprising. Pelicans, man, they've just been god-awful. On a 7-game losing streak. 1-5 covering in their last 6 here. I mean, how can you trust the Pelicans as the favorite here? I sure can't do it. Brandon Ingram is questionable as well. Yeah, no way I'm taking Pelicans here. We'll take OKC plus the points. Next matchup, we have the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Phoenix Suns. Suns opening up as 6.5-point favorites with the over-under at 222.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Phoenix 5-5, 6-4 covering in those 10. I don't see any major injuries except that DeAndre Ayton is out. Actually, Ayton and Landry Shamet are both out Wednesday. No injuries for Portland here. Phoenix, got a nice little win streak going on, 5-game winning streak. Been playing pretty nice here. Without 2 pretty key contributors to their squad in Shamet and Ayton, I think it's a good spot for Portland. These teams have already played here. Portland picking up a 134-105 win over Phoenix. Not in love with it, but without Ayton, I think they're giving Portland too many points here. Even though Phoenix has been on a nice little win streak here, they definitely are vulnerable to this Portland squad. We'll take Portland plus 6.5 here. I think it's too many points with all the injuries, so we'll take Portland plus the points here. All right, and the last matchup, we have the Indiana Pacers versus the Denver Nuggets. The Pacers opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 213.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Denver 7-3, 5-5 covering in those 10. Pretty big news here. Brogdon looks like he's good to go Wednesday, but I do believe that Jokic is going to be suspended this game for the Nuggets after that supposed fight or push he had in that last game. So that's a big loss. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this game. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be out for this game because he's suspended by the league for a game. Pacers coming off a 94-91 win over Sacramento. Then Denver, coming off a 2-game win streak here. Pacers have struggled against Denver, 5-15 in their last 20 against the Nuggets, 1-10 in their last 11 against Denver on the road. Denver 10-1 at home against Indiana. Only a 2-point spread, and pretty much if Jokic is going to be out, I just think it's going to be hard for this Nuggets team, without their star player. Because we haven't seen them without their star player all season, really. So we don't know really how they're going to act, who's going to step up and provide the points. I'm not sure here, but I'm going to go with the Pacers. They haven't looked horrible. 3-1 in their last 4. Pretty decent right there. So we'll take the Pacers -2. If for some reason Jokic is playing this game, we're going to roll with Denver, but I'm wanting to believe he's going to be out this game, which will be a big loss for Denver. And so we'll take the Pacers -2. I feel like until this news is announced, the line might move up a little bit. If it's out, I could definitely see Indiana moving up to -3 or -4. So get Indiana either on the money line or at the best line you can. But yeah, we're going to roll with the Pacers. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Wednesday. See you guys Thursday. Have a good one.